Hi guys, this is Walton here, and I apologise as I haven't done a video for ages, but my internet wasn't working at all, so there's not much I could have done about it. But even still, some days when it started to work, I just couldn't do a video, or didn't really bother, and every time I started, I'd made a mistake, or I wasn't happy with it. But the video I am going to do today, obviously, was running this book, but it is my first list that I'm building. Now, obviously, so far, Jetbike spam has been incredibly popular all over the net. Wave Serpent spam, obviously, incredibly popular as well. They seem to be the main two camps people are in. So I try to create an incredibly different list, and I'm going to run it through with you guys. I've play tested it a couple of times, or started to with bits of it, and I really like it. And I'll run through first the units, then run back through while they're there, and then tell you about the combinations. Because this list is all about synergy, or synergy if you talk normally. Okay, HQ, we have a Farseer on a jet bike, and another Farseer on a jet bike. No elites for troops. I have 12 Wind Rider Guardians in 4 squads of 3, and 5 Rangers. Fast attack, I have a Hemlock Wraith Fighter, 4 Shining Spears, X-Arch, Laser Lance, Hit and Run. I've got 2 squads of those. Heavy support, I've got 3 support weapons, all of which are Shadow Weavers, and I'm allying with the Imperial Guard. And there I have a Primary Psyker, 7 Sanctioned Psykers with an Overseer, a Veteran Squad and with 2 Melter Guns, a Veteran Squad with 2 Sniper Rifles, and a Vendetta Gunship. Right, let's run through why everything is there. Farseer, I've run the Farseers a lot of times now, and have to tell you, they've actually improved. Having the 3 rolls on the tables means I roll in 1 in the Runes of Fate, and always give it guide unless I get Doom. And I have 2 rolls in Telepathy, because my Farseers play an aggressive role in the army. They spend a lot of time moving forward a lot, and some of the telepathy powers are just ridiculous, especially in combination with the Hemlock Wraith Fighter and pinning weapons from the support weaponry and the Saxon Psykers. Basically, you've got forcing leadership checks and to do anything. You've got, what else? We've got invisibility, that is fantastic. We have the mental block, the hallucination, I can't say that word, hallucination. I said wrong again. So all powers that I really like. I mean, the hallucination has ability to just paralyze a squad if you roll a 3 or 4, pin them on 1 or 2, or make them attack each other on 5 or 6. So many good powers, and they got terrified, can push them away from me and get good fear tests off. So I really like the Farseers, and guide is always helpful. I've never hated guide and I've never hated Doom, so if I roll any of those 2, they stay in. Right, why have I got Wind Riders? Okay, they're just amazing. I have played them in my games now, and they're insane. With the amount of buffs is stupid. The higher weapon skill, the higher ballistic skill, the higher initiative. The fact that you've got the Jinx save, the fact they've got reduced in points. The twin-linked Shuriken cannon, those Shuriken catapults, with Blade Storm rule. Just when you don't see it coming up, so when it does, you're like, oh, that's nice. I mean, Linebreaker. Last game, every game would just fly to the back of the board with 12 of them and go kill me. I always try and have them just behind a bit of cover, and I jump forward with the jetpack and then jump back, fire the Shuriken catapults and jump back until I have to go for objectives. Fantastic unit. 12 is just brilliant. I really like them. They're in there basically for objective capping, for just picking off little. When they all work together as a big unit of 12, they can just pick off the Marine squad that's been left by itself. Okay, the 5 Rangers. They're in there because I need something to cap the backfield. One of the strategies I have been using to get my backfield is flying all the jet bikes to his backfield to guarantee a line breaker, and then at the last turn, flying some back to my backfield, some to his midfield, But I still like the Rangers. I mean, they're not as good as they were. That's when you have one squad. Used to run loads of squads of Rangers, just sitting there doing a nice job. They do me well actually most games, because upon they do give easy first bloods, but usually taking out the monstrous creatures, trying to get some wounds onto the independent characters hiding in squads, they certainly perform a role. Okay, fast attack, Hemlock Wraith Fighter. He buffs almost everything in the army. When you look at my guard detachment, so many things reduce leadership checks, and then I can reduce leadership, and I can force leadership checks. I can have enemies running back. I can easily pin them. The two D5s are great. You put Doom with them. They work brilliantly. When your opponent's on the objective, last turn, just shooing him off it. I really like the Hemlock. Yeah, it is very, very weak, but if you keep it alive, it is just horrible for my opponent. And I really need it, because everything in the army, sort of, he helps them. If I have a unit, my opponent's on objectives, that's a great example. Improving my pinning weapons, that's a good example. Killing his elite troops, that's another thing I like to do. Loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of uses for this guy. Another use, with the psychic, no, that comes over to the psychics. No, but Hemlock Wraith Fighter's been in every lesson, has never let me down. Okay, my 8 Shining Spears, then 2 groups 4. I don't see why more people aren't running these. Some games outflank them. The Farseers always go with them. Some games outflank them. Some games I don't. I've tended towards not outflanking them. Skilled Rider, getting that 3-up cover save all the time. When I turbo boost in the first turn, I can get turn 2 charges on. For Marine killing, there is no equivalent. They destroy tanks. Jack of all trades, absolutely fantastic. Running with the Farseers, they do such a good job. They protect the Farseer. That X-Arch, quite good in challenges. Really, really, really like them. And they've got hit and run. So what my base strategy is, I run in with them. I use their ridiculous lances, because Rhoda, they're strength times 2 weapon. Again, going at the same initiative and being AP3. Just smash into a squad. You do a bit of damage, you do a lot of damage to it, you shoot them first, you do a lot of damage, they have a couple of smacks back, and I generally take them the Farseer, which sounds a bit risky, but I can look out so off the ones I don't really want. And I generally put them onto just a Shining Spear, but then I hit and run away in my turn, so same trick again, absolutely fantastic. Right, oh my word, my heavy support, 3 support weapons. I actually don't think there's an equivalent to Pain at the moment. 90 points, firing 3 large blasts, a strength 6 AP6 barrage with pseudo rending, a strength 7 against some targets. Smashing tanks, they do a fantastic job. Large bodies infantry, they do a great job. Guys in power armor, they do a great job. Terminator armor, yeah, so-so, and obviously can't hurt the Land Raider, but I don't really care. I've got laser lances to hurt Land Raiders, and if worse comes to worse, I've also got the Valkyrie, so no Vendetta. Not really worried about that, but they're just ridiculously good. Sit them behind someone, the opponent can't see them, you fire 3 large blasts over, and you're absolutely fine. Bit of guide on them in my first turn, just get early first bloods, huge range. Now let me just check their range. It is absolutely ridiculous range. 48 inches. Just quickly with these guys, this is something I have noticed, and I'd quite like to bring to your attention. When you go to the what a support weapon has standard, so we're going to Defenders of the Craft World, you will see it says they have Shadow Weavers. So we turn to the back. Shadow Weaver clearly says Large Blast. But then we turn to their weapon page, the actual weapon itself, and sadly and strangely, it says something slightly different. Shadow Weaver Blast. So it's not Large Blast. At the moment, I've been playing at Large Blast. I'm sure it's been, FAQ'd or errated. That's just disgusting, just as a quick side note, that you've written 2 things the weapon is in the same book. I mean, I don't know what people are good playing at the moment. Tell me below, what are you playing? Are you playing as a Large Blast or a Small Blast? Because it is a huge difference. If they're Small Blast, then maybe not quite as useful, but the 90 points are a steal. Strength 7 as well. Okay, the Imperial Guard, why are they there? The Primaris Psyker. Okay, let me explain. Whole guard is like one big blob that works together. Primera Striker doesn't swap his powers out. He goes with a veteran squad. Now, he casts the power that opponent has to cast a leadership check to shoot at that squad. I then use my 7 Sanctioned Psykers to reduce the enemy's leadership of 1 unit by 6. I don't really like throwing a barrage weapon. I then use the Hemlock to mean that most units have to roll a double 1 and reroll passing to shoot at my middle unit. There is literally no chance of you shooting at them. They set objectives and they're near invulnerable. It is absolutely ridiculous. And then the last time I'm trying to wipe things out, he goes to his lightning arc, throws a bolt of lightning thing, and my Sanctioned Psykers go to their blast at that point. He can also go with the Psykers if you want to protect those from harm. But in terms of being with the blob, he is absolutely fantastic. And he moves around, basically picking out a mortal unit from my guard. 2 veteran squads. The 2 are snipers. The 2 are snipers slowly advance the board, keeping the snipers still, picking off enemy units that don't see it, and sort of just trying not to be a nuisance, just be more troops. There's a lot of troops in this list, which is good. They're just trying to be, just sit there, just be something. Don't make my opponent worry about me. Don't make my opponent worry about me. And you're right. Okay, the other one with 2 multi-guns goes in the Vendetta. And in the last turn gets grab shooted down onto anywhere either to blow up a tank, if I'm playing this big guns never tire, to grab some late game points, or to grab an objective, I deep strike them all. So last turn I can basically claim 5 objectives just automatically in the last turn if I haven't lost too much. Really good, and I also like to make those immortal on the turn. They get an objective, in goes Primera Psyker, and they do great. Sanctioned Psykers, Jesus Christ. Flipping it, these are good. Use them last game at 36-inch range. Very unlikely to perils, and if you do, you don't really lose that much from it. You get a D3 guys die, and they haven't perils. Just absolutely ridiculously amazing, fantastic, wonderful. All the above. I think these guys are so brilliant. I genuinely do. The whole synergy comes together when I've got my Hemlock stopping my opponent shooting, reducing leadership, destroying, making them run away, getting the objectives to reclaim. It's a huge synergy list, and at the moment it's doing really, really well for me. Okay, also the Vendetta is for killing other flyers, and obviously for destroying opponent's tanks. Okay, that is my first list that I'm going for. I'm going to do a few battle reports coming out soon. This is Walton, and I am out.